and why we are going for this internet and URL, domain, TMS, HTTP basics, web page, what is the difference between web pages, what is static and dynamic, and what is a website, okay, and then what is web application and what is the difference between web and website. Okay, so this is the first, that is in the module one, the first unit. And the second, they might have discussed, previous trainer have discussed about uh, there is what is HTML and what are the important topics we have to learn. What is HTML and page structure and structures, heading tags. We'll just go through this once because if you have any doubts in this also you can ask me. Okay, and formatting tags and how to create a hyperlink, image, list, and tables, table attributes, forms. Forms is very, very important when you go for an interview purpose. Once again, okay. So then the very important thing is forms. Definitely you need to create a forms. Okay, that is very, very important. If you go for whatever the technologies you are going to use, if it is a web page, you definitely create a forms, right? You should thorough with that. And how to create a graphics, we can either go with SVG or Canvas, and how to upload the multimedia and what is block components. Okay, and the third unit is about CSS. So the agenda is like, so what is CSS, and how we can use the properties and values, and inline CSS, embedded CSS, and what is box model and ID selectors. So these are the example they have given, and how to transition, transform, and give animation, and what is box model and display positioning techniques. Do you have any doubts as of now? So in this module 1 till unit 3, any doubts? No, right? Okay, I hope you are good with HTML and CSS, right? And next one is CSS, sorry, JavaScript. In JavaScript, we have read about how to handle the HTML events. So what is JavaScript? And it will be compared with Java. So what is the difference, main difference between these? And what are the characteristics we have? And the simple program, how to create a simple program. And these are the methods, a Windows method. So how to get the alert methods, you can see here. Okay, and then how to get a dialog box, that is confirmation box, and the prompt box. The prompt box is entirely getting the information from the user, right? And what is the different data types and variables we have in JavaScript, and what is variables and how we can use it, and what are the data types we have, primitive and non-primitive, and Java operators, and how we are going to handling the HTML events, and how we can do a animation using JavaScript, and what is DOM in JavaScript. So this is very, very important. So when you go for React.js, in our syllabus we are having a React.js. So while learning that, you must be thorough with this DOM. Okay, and there are a different finding the HTML events. You can go with ID or tag name or class name, or either with the CSS selectors. And these are some examples. And so previously we know what is form, right? How to create a form. But here they have discussed about how to handle and validate. So there are two different things are there in a form. So one is a data validation, another one is a field. Okay. So what is data validation is entirely about validating a data. If it is wrong, it will throw some error. Okay, and cookies in JavaScript, so how it is working. Okay, so we have given some example. Finally, a bootstrap. So in this bootstrap, you can see what you are going to learn and what are the different versions. Actually, we have used, that is recent Bootstrap version is Bootstrap 5. Okay, and what is the main difference between Bootstrap 3 and 4? They have discussed. So mainly in a grid system, if you see in Bootstrap 3, it is like 4-tier grid. This is a 5-tier grid, and they have used a less, and this is a SAS. Okay, so some important difference will be there. And again, if you come to Bootstrap 4 and 5, there are some difference. And this is a starter template. If you want to create a Bootstrap, then you have to follow the starter template. And then what is BS5 colors? How you will create, colors. That is background Bootstrap. If you want to give some color in a Bootstrap, there is something which is predefined class names are there. You can use that to create a colors. Okay, and what is alerts and buttons, red scrums and paginations, and tooltips and popovers, cards and models, scroll spy, and how to create using a grid. Okay, so finally you will be having a simple project. You have to create this project using a bootstrap. It is very simple. So here also you can see the way how we have created. Okay, this is all about that is module one. Hope all you clear with module one. What are the topics we have learned so far? So do you have any questions, or if you want any things to be repeated or anything like that? Everyone is clear with these topics in the module one. Just give thumbs up so that we can proceed to the module two. Okay, Pallavi is okay. And what about others? Yes, if you need some help in this at module one, because it is very important. In IT sectors, they are expecting a web developer and web designer jobs, right? So you should be thorough with this one. There are so many frameworks and libraries are there, but still, if you strong in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript only, you can attain a job in a different, frameworks and libraries. That is the reason I've just repeated all the, module units to you. Okay, now we will start with module two. Okay, so first thing is in module 2 we can see Java. Okay, so in Java, so why we are using Java, and what are the important things and how we can install it. So let's look into that. The first thing is overview. So if you see in this module, yes, Havitra,
Ma'am, JavaScript classes are not completed, ma'am.
from which college you are from?
Avanti Institute.
Avanti. Okay.
JavaScript
JavaScript
and
is not completed. Okay, ma'am.
Bootstrap
But
completed.
okay. Who else know the same problem you're facing? Like, so for everyone, JavaScript and Bootstrap is completed, right? Apart from Avanti College.
No, ma'am. Avanti Tagarpal, Avanti Makvarapalam, JavaScript is not completed.
Avanti College alone, right? Okay. Okay, then.
Yes, ma'am.
We can arrange a separate session for you for the JavaScript and Bootstrap alone. So, guys, will you be available tomorrow from the morning 9 to 5 between this timing?
9, 10 to 4, ma'am. We are available.
You are available, okay. Then we'll arrange a separate session for that. Okay. Okay. Now
Okay.
we'll continue with Java, and then we'll for you alone. I'll be conducting a session tomorrow for JavaScript and Bootstrap. Okay. So okay, no worries. And see here, so what we learned is, so what is Java object-oriented paradigm, and we will explore what is core Java annotations in server-side scripting, basics of servlet, JSP, and then handling a client data and managing session at servers and cookie at a client. Okay. So, okay. So, what is object-oriented programming? So, you might have heard what it is, right? So, I will explain you. So, actually, if you see, it is used to structure a software program into simple and reusable pieces of a code print. Okay, and also, which is used to create a individual instance of objects. There are many object-oriented programming languages. So we can see JavaScript, C++, Java, and Python. Okay. And what are the benefits of OOPS concept? So why we need this OOPS concept? So actually the same points repeated here as well. So now how to build a blocks of OOPS code, that is a Java. So let's see how to install this and how we can use it off later. Okay, so if you want to create Java, okay, so what are the important things we need is the classes, objects, method, and attributes. So these are the very important things we need to give some the structure, the simple structure for creating a program. And what is the best practice of OOPS concepts? Don't repeat yourself. So don't repeat the things again. And a single responsibility and open close to designs will be there. So this is OOPS concept. You can see what is object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, data abstractions. So you might have heard all these words, right? So we'll after this you can see the clear expansions of why we are going for this kind of things, and then we will move on to the Java annotations. So and then we'll complete this first. That is in a module two, we'll be completing the first module. Okay. Okay. So first, I will be sharing. So how to download Java. There are two things we need to download to work with the Java. So first one is you need to download a Java Oracle. I'll be sharing this link, so don't worry. So there are actually while I'm downloading, there was Java 19 was there. So now it is 20. So you can either download this or Java 17. So just come down. So just check whether your OS is like Linux distributions or Mac OS or Windows. So actually I'm using Windows. So I'll be downloading this particular link. Okay. Let me tell you the steps. So, so this is the link, okay, to download Java. Okay, so you need to download from this link. So once you have done the download, then you need to click on this, that is X64 installer, or if it is a Mac, so it will be different, right? For each and everything, you can see some packages, the compressed archive, or you can go with the installer. Okay, so just click on this, it will automatically download. So if I click on this, you can see it is downloading here. So once it is downloaded, you need to double click. Okay, so after this, what I need to do? So after this, okay, after downloading Java, you need to set the path. Okay? Set a path. So how to set a path now? So just go to the Windows icon. Okay, and just go here and type like environment. You can see edit the environmental variable for your account. You can either go here or you can go with edit system environment. Okay, just click on this. Okay, so after selecting this, you have something like environmental variable, just select it. Here you can see, right? So here, what you need to do is you need to click on. So if you don't have this option, just I will tell you. So if you don't have this option, Java home, then what you need to do is see here in the browser browser history, actually I have saved it in the program files. So after downloading that Java folder, so it will be, so actually I saved it in the D drive. I think so. So here I have saved it, but sorry, this is Eclipse, right? Sorry. So see program in program files. So here you can see where is Java. So Java JDK. So till this you need to copy. Okay. So till you need to copy here and paste it. So what you need to do is you need to mention the variable name, the Java home, and then the variable value should be the path. So where it has been saved. So example, okay. So like this you need to do. And then after setting this, what I need to do. So just close it off. So after doing this, just come down. Now, what I need next? So I need Eclipse, right? So for Eclipse, just go here and type eclipse.org downloads. So here you can have some option, right? So either you can download as a package or download this one. So just click on this and download it on your PC. You can save it anywhere you want. Okay. So after doing all these things, so we just putting in the WhatsApp also, WhatsApp group also, I'll be sharing this. Is there anyone from Venkateshwara College? Is whoever given the names, I'll be taking their names alone. So others I won't be consider because without a college name I cannot identify, right? So just give your college name and your name. Okay. So the next thing is what we were seeing about. Yeah. So like this you need to download. So once you download everything, so just if now I already installed the Eclipse on my PC. So previously I showed you, right? So just go to the D drive, Eclipse, and then click here and Eclipse. Okay. So just open this. Okay. So actually, this is the thing we are going to work on. So see here, there are some multiple options we have, right? Just let me close this. So if you go here, file, edit, source, refactor, navigate, project, front videos. So what are the things we are going to work? So we will be working with Windows, so mainly preference and perspective. Okay. And the next thing is we need a new. So actually you need to click on new and then just select on Java project because you are going to create a Java project, right? So then one second. Okay, guys. So next, we are going to see about how we are going to run a code and what are the important things we need. Okay. So what is Java and how we need to work with Java. Okay. So let's look into a simple program. So how we can execute it. Okay, so now here you can see. So after clicking on project name, so you have to give a project name. So I'm just giving as new project. Okay, so this is a name I'm just giving and click on. So you can see the user default location. Actually, my location is like it is in the D drive, Eclipse workspace, and new project I'm creating. Okay, so after this you can see JRE. So first you should understand what is JRE and Java Virtual Machine, and one more thing is it is called as it is JRE and JVM, that is JDK. Okay, so these are the three terms you should know. So first I will describe that. So before that, we'll just create a project. Just click on next, and you can see in the new projects under SRC. So here only we are going to create a classes in the SRC file. So automatically it creates a new folder called SRC. Just click on finish. Okay. So actually this is my folder, that is whatever we have created now. So I already told you, right? So there are some different terms, JRE and JVM and JDK. Okay. So what is JRE? So JRE is nothing but a Java runtime environment. Okay. So what it does and what it has. Actually, this contains a library. Okay. So it contains a library, and JVM is nothing but a Java virtual machine. So what this does is, if example, instead of using an Eclipse, if you go and run the code in the notepad, normal notepad, so what it happens, it will be converting. So actually we will be giving a file name as example new projects dot java, like this we'll be giving. So first it will compile and then it will convert into a new project dot Java. Like this, it will be converting. So how this happening? This is due to the virtual machine. So what it does is, it will convert. Actually, it will convert into a bytecode. That is into a machine language or machine code. Okay, so this is a main process we are going. So what is the benefit of converting this? Actually, if you convert this, we can use this particular program in different devices. Example, so I'm using a Windows. Okay, so this can only be running in the Windows alone. But if suppose it is running on some other OS like Mac or something else, so it can also work on that. So this is also possible. Okay, so due to that, we are using this Java virtual machine, and what is called as JDK, Java Development. Okay, so what is called Java Development Kit? Actually, this Java Development Kit, it contains the compiler, debugger, and the JRE. So everything will be under this. If you go and check this, where is the Java file? So this program yeah, program files. If you go with Java, so here you can see JDK files. Actually, this 19 is a version, so which I'm using. So actually, so now we have checked, right. So it is a latest 20 yeah. So if you want to download 20, you can also download that. So it depends upon your wish. So this is a main difference between this. I'll just put it in the chat box. Okay, and the next thing is we'll learn about programming. So if you go and check, it is Eclipse. So if you go and check here, you can see JRE, Java Runtime Environment. So here there are so many libraries are present. For each and every library, there will be some classes. If example, I need a let's take okay Java base. Okay, if I go here, if I want to use Java input and output servers, I can see so many files will be there, right? File input stream. So like this, inside this you can see so many jar files will be there for utilizing any particular coding. For that, you are going for this JRE system library. It's defaultly if you create anything, so it automatically comes under this one. Okay. So now what we need to do? So you need to right click on this and go to new and click on class because you are going to create a class. Okay, so I'm just giving a class name to be like let me give it as a simple program. And one thing, guys, if you are creating a class name, it should be in a Pascal. So Pascal is nothing but the starting first letter will be in capital, the other letters will be in a small characters. Okay. So after this, you just click on finish. If you want this public static void main, you can click on this. Otherwise, click on finish. Okay, so after creating this, it is showing some error. Why? Because there is called as module info Java. So I don't want this. You can delete it. So it automatically the error removed. Right. So now, so what is called as class and what I will be containing here. Actually, if you just come to the PPT again, here you can see what is class. So class is a blueprint or a prototype from which objects are created. Actually, uh, this class actually contains a variables and methods. Okay, so if you see, this is a class name is car. So inside this I have some field. So what is a field? I'm initializing or I'm just declaring the variable name, and I'm using some methods, that is function. So this is called as class. So what class contains? It will contains yeah, so the class class contains fields and methods. That is a main important functionality. Okay. So now we will see the very simple code. So how to execute the Java program and how we can work with it. So this is my simple program, right? So here I'll just remove this public. So I don't want to be this program as a public. So here I'm just giving as public static void main string arguments. So what is this? What is this called? Actually, if you see, this is a simple program name, that is class name. So this is called as a command line argument. Using this only, the program, methods will, the objects will get executed. Okay. So we'll see so how to execute this program. So actually you need to mention this. This is a public is the access modifier, and this is a static, and void is a return type. It will not run any default things. Okay, and the main method I have string arguments also. So inside this I'm going to create something like system dot out dot println. So inside this I'm just giving like welcome the module 2, like this I've given. Okay, so after creating this, how we can run this? Just right click on this and go here, and there are two options. So I already installed Tomcat server, so it is showing like run on server. So I don't want that. It is a Java, simple Java application. I'm just clicking on Java. So you can see welcome to the module. So this is how we'll be executing the code. Okay, so this is a simple example for class, and how we can create a class and object. So next PPT, and see. So how to create the objects. So actually the object is very very simple. So if you are trying to create Java object program, so actually we need to create
Excuse
using
me,
a
ma'am.
class name only. We'll be creating it. Okay, so let's see some example on this so that it will be clear for you. So if you have any doubts also you can ask me. Any doubts guys as of now?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes ma.
Ma'am, this is the done for government SKJT college, ma'am. Till encapsulation they have done, ma'am.
Yes, I know. Harsh, sir have told me because actually from today onwards we are starting the sessions. That is actually this is a merged batch. Okay, so we can continue. So today alone we'll be having this, and tomorrow onwards we'll moving to the second module. That is module second unit. Okay,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
clear, ma?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, next is so now I'm going to give some field like integer a is equals to 5. Okay, so in this program, in a simple program, you can see the way that is integer is a field, right? So this is entirely the field. So in this field, I'm just giving a value as 5. So integer is nothing but it's a data type. Already we know. So actually, I think you're from engineering background, so definitely you might have come across this data types and all, right? Integer, float, short, long, and double, character, boolean, right? So like this, this is also one kind of data type. So I'm using this value as 5. So now I want to print this value. Okay, so how I can do it? So I can do it either I can give a value here directly like a. You cannot use any double quotes here. Save it. One second. So cannot make a static reference on the non-static. Okay, so that is a statement is coming out. So what we can do is we need to create an object for this particular thing. So how we can create an object? So we need to use a class name. So class name is, what is a class name? It is simple program. And the variable name is I'm just giving as C is equals to new simple program. Okay, so like this you will be creating. After this, you need to mention the object name here. So this is the way you'll be creating. So what is object is all about? So object, actually this is created using a class name. So using a class name only, you'll be able to create a objects in Java. Okay, so let's run this code. Okay, actually what happened is it is throwing a reference value. So what I need to do is I need to give the object name dot the variable. So which value I need to execute, right? So let's run this again. So you can see the value. So before it was showing the reference number for that particular value, and now it is showing the value. So what is the exact value for it? Okay, clear? So now we have understood what is class and object. So now we will move on to the method. So how to create a Java methods. I hope everyone given your names in the chat box. If not, please provide your names. Okay, so how to create a methods? Let's see some very simple example how we can execute the method. For example, there are many different things we need to input. Okay, so the first one is we need to provide a data type. So how to declare it? First, I'll tell you so how to declare the method. So let me give a name as method declaration. In this method declaration, first one is you need to mention the access specifier, and then you need to mention a return type. And you need to mention the method name, and finally you need to mention the parameter closed. Okay, like this you'll be mentioning. Clear? So after this you'll be using a curly braces. So example is the first thing is I'm giving an access specifier as public and return type to be integer, and the method name is going to be something like add, and then I'm giving a parameter name as integer a comma integer b. After this we'll be having a curly brace. Like this you need to create a methods. So we'll see some simple example for this. There are two different methods we have. One is called as predefined, and the another one is a user defined method. So first we'll check with the predefined method. So how we can create a method using your predefined. So I'll delete this. So here I'll be creating a predefined method. So system dot out dot println. So I'm just going to find the maximum number. How we can find it? I'm just adding. So this is a string. Okay, so that's why I'm just denoting in the double quotes, within a double quotes. So it will show it in the output, right? The next thing is I'm going to find which one is a maximum. So maximum uh, here. So math is a default, predefined thing. So in that we have a method called max method. Okay, so in this max method I've given two values, that is 9 and 7. So it will find, so what is the highest value. So let's check. So the maximum number is 9. So like this we'll be using in a predefined method. So if it comes to a user defined method, so how we can do it. So we'll see a very simple example, so how we can work with it. So let me create I'm going to find uh, the entered number is even or odd. Okay, so how we can check it. So let me remove this. So here my class name is a simple program. So now I'm having a public static void main. Okay, so inside this I'll be creating a scanner class object, because I'm going to get the that is input from the user. So for that, what I need to use, scanner, and the variable name is a and new scan, and then I'm giving it as so actually the default thing to get the input value to create a class object in a scanner is this. So the parameter value is system dot a. And it is showing an error. So let's check what is the error. So actually it is asking to input the scanners. Yes, we have imported now. And next to this, I'm going to ask the user to get the values. So system.out.println. So I'm giving it as enter the number. After doing this, I'm going to read the value from the user. So how to read the value from the user? So we need to again give integer number I'm going to get this value, right? So I'm going to read this value. So a dot next integer int of. And then finally I'm going to call the method. So method call. So this is nothing but, guys, this is a command line. Okay, so it is not visible in the output actually. Okay, so this is only for the developer. So we are using. Okay, so inside this method calling, if you just come down, I'm going to give a method like even or odd. This is the method name which I'm giving, and also giving a variable name. Okay, example, what is a parameter value? Say error. It is asking to create a method, so we are going to create a method now. Okay, so after this, I'm going to create a public. What is the way we need to create? So public static void, and what is the method name? Even or odd. So inside this, I'm giving it is an integer num. Okay. So now, so in the method body, I will give some if condition. So if condition, it's going to be a num. So I'll be checking a modulo 2. So it is nothing but it will get a reminder. If the reminder is equal to 0, then what happens? It's going to be import out the prints, and then it's going to be an even number, right? Num plus is a even. Okay, just close this off. And next to this, we can use else statement. You just copy this. So here I'm just giving this to be or. Okay, like this we have created. Just run this program. It is asking for number. 20 is a even number. Okay. I'm giving the number to be 71. So this is an odd number. So like this you will be getting. Okay, clear everyone? Okay, next thing is we understood what is object and what are the two different types. So now we will discuss about the access modifiers. So access modifiers, there are different things in access modifier, especially. For example, if we want to talk about this, we can see this PPT here itself. You can see. So if it is the same class, we can use default or private and protector and public. Okay, I'll tell you what is a packages and the class. We go here, so this is called as a package. If I go here and if you right click and go to the Java project, sorry, no, not Java projects, you go here and right click and go to the class. So here you can have an option called package. I'm just giving as com.java package. Okay, and I'm giving a class name here. And finish. So here you can see this is a package name and this is a default package name because we have not given any particular package name over here. Okay. So now how it's gonna work? So the access modifier. So give me 1 second. Let me show you. I hope you can see this one, right? So here, if you come down, so So in this class, you can see some two different methods, right? So one is the access modifier is public. The another one, it is a private. There are some two different, the access modifiers are there. So what it is actually? So if you see, this means it can be accessed by other classes. So example, so if I have a package, here itself I'm creating a class. Okay, so if I'm creating a class here, like simple program. This is my program. So here you can see some two different classes. So it can be accessed by other classes also. This can be done. Okay, the next is the method 2 is a private. So this means it cannot be accessed by the other classes. If I'm using a private method, or it's gonna be your field, or it's gonna be constructor, so whatever it may be. Okay, so I'm going to once again. Okay, so it cannot be accessed by the other classes. Because next, if you come down, so these are the different types of modifiers we have: default, private, protected, and public. Okay, so if you see a default, these declarations are visible only within a package. So whatever have created here, so this can be visible inside this alone. So within that package alone, it cannot be visible at the new one which I have created, com.java. So what is called as private? So private, if you see, the declarations are visible within the class only. And if you see the protected, it has a different thing. So the declarations are visible within the packages or all the subclasses. Subclasses we'll discuss later. Okay, that is all about. Looking to the code now. So if you see the default, you know, the packages, so what happens, access modifier, they have not mentioned any particular the class names. So just we'll copy this and we try to use it here. Changing, actually we don't have any package name, right? So I'm removing this and this program. What is the class name? Simple program. This program is not running. So let me. So actually what it's saying is a main method not found in the class simple program. So we need to create a public static void main. So then only we'll be able to execute this output. So try this public. Actually, we have not. So before this, we have not used any access modifier. So that is called as a default access modifier. Okay. So what it is saying, so like the class is visible to all the classes that belongs to default package. If you try to use logger class in another class outside the default package, we will get a compilation error. Next, we will see about the private access modifier. when a variable and methods are declared. See here the variable and where is the method? Okay, here we have not used any method. Okay, if we are declaring that into a private, they cannot be accessed outside the class. Okay, we cannot access outside the class. So actually this is a class, one class we have created as a private, and we are trying to use it in the another class name. It is called as main. Okay, so if you try to implement this, just will copy this. So here we need to mention the particular class name. We need to name h. I will change this class name here because using this class name only we are going to get that value. Okay, so the name. So here we have created program C. So what happened is it we cannot do it. So we'll try use it using a public. Let's rename it. Yeah. So now we have not printed any value, so that is the reason it is not showing any error or any output. Okay. So if you use private here, then what happens? It will throw the error. So it cannot be used in the different class name. So one particular class details cannot be used in the other class name when we are using a private keyword. Okay. And the next thing is what is called as protected. So when a method and data member are declared protected, we can access them within the same package as well as from the subclasses. We can do it. So let's see how it can be passed and how we are getting an output. To try this, just changing the class name to the same program. Okay. And what is the important thing is I have given a protector. So I have given the extend keyboard also. So what happened is I can use this particular method, so which is mentioned as a protector. I can use it in within the same subclasses or different packages. So that is possible in this chart. That is within a protector. Okay. So protected modifier is possible. And what is called as public access modifier, it is easy only. So let's close this. So next, what is in the PPT? Let's check. Yeah. So what is called as constructor? How we can use it? So constructor actually, uh, there are some three constructors we have: default, no arguments, parameterized constructors. Okay. So why we are going for this constructor? So there is a difference between the normal method and the constructor. Okay. Actually, both the things are same. So it has a same name as a class name. So whatever the class name you have mentioned, if example I have mentioned a class name as data, then my constructor name will be a data of. So it will be similar to a method. So there are three different values, and first we'll see what it is. Actually, this is a creation of an object. Okay, this is a creation on an object that is an instance of class. So constructor name should be a same class name. So let's see some example. I already have some notes, so let's run that. Yeah. So see here, this constructor in Java is similar to the method. So that is invoked when the object of class is created. Okay, when the object of the class is created, is actually see here. This is the normal syntax. So this is your class and the class name. So you are going to get this as a method. Okay, and after this, so after this, you can see this is a constructor body. You can define whatever you want, and just come down. This test of is a constructor. Okay. It has the same name as of the class and does not have a return type. So we don't have any return type like integer or float or double. So whatever it may be, we don't want to mention anything. Okay, just come down. So this is a Java constructor simple example. Here we can see here, this is my class name, and here I've given some field like private. I want that to be a private and string and the name. Okay, so after this, I'm creating a constructor. See here, system.out.println, and the constructor is called. And I have given a variable name to be that is name which I have used here, and I'm initializing some value for that. So after doing this, I'm just going to see here. I'm going to create a object. So after creating that object, I'm going to get the value. So we'll see the picturized thing. So what is the main difference uh, between this Java method and the constructor? We'll see it in the picturized thing. So go to the images. Check. We have some diagrammatic values. Okay, better we can go with this. See here. So this constructor, we already know this, and return type does not have a return type in constructor. But if you see in the method, we need it. And all the constructor is invoked implicitly by the system. So it is not invoked by a programmer. So I'm not, I or you are not going to invoke the system. So that is the constructor is invoked implicitly by the system itself. And here we need to invoke the that is invoked by the programmer. And what is the main job? So if you see, the constructor can be used to initialize an object. Actually, it is initializing an object. Here it consists of Java code to be executed. So what is the exact Java code you are going to execute? So that will be inside the method. And the overload, so it can be overload. Method also can be overload. So we'll see what is a method overload. So there is Java constructor. Yeah. Yeah. So if you see here, so this is the main difference. See here, the constructor is invoked while. So we are not trying to invoke the method in this particular place and creating an object of the main class. Okay. So we'll just copy this and we'll try it. This is a normal thing. So see here the output is displayed. The main important thing you should know is if the in an interview if they are asking what is constructed, you need to give this all these points. Okay, and so now we'll see what are the different types of constructors we have. So no argument constructors. So I think we have discussed about no argument. So here in the constructor value, you can see there is no value inside this, right? So that is called as a no argument constructor. The second one is parameterized constructor. Parameterized is nothing but you will be having some values within that constructed parameter. And default constructor is if you are not going to use any constructor, that will be called as a default constructor. So let's see some example on parameterized constructor. Just one simple example. Here you can see inside the constructor name, they have given some data type and the variable name. Okay, so if I just copy this and run the program, so actually we are not printing each and every value here. So it automatically what happens is how the program runs. So first it will check the initialization that is field, what is the variable name. So after that it will be initializing to some value. And what happens is we are creating some object names, right? So then it will call this particular method that is constructed here, and it will print the value. So like this it will work. So let's run this code. You can see all the output has been displayed. Okay guys, clear with this. And the next thing is we'll see about what is inheritance and what are the types of inheritance we have. uh, why we are going for inheritance. So in the image itself, you can see what happens. So there is some grandfather, father, and son and the daughter. So the first thing is called as a single inheritance. If example, so so there is a grandfather and father is okay. So the father uh, will inherit some qualities or the properties of grandfather. Sometimes in our family itself they will tell you, right? So you are doing like your father or like your mother. Okay, so that single thing it is called as a single inheritance. Okay, and what is called as this one that is called as hierarchical and hybrid. So there are totally we have five inheritance. Over here, these are the five inheritance we have. First one is single, multiple, hierarchical, multiple, and hybrid. So if you see the single inheritance, we are using multiple. Yes, we are using hierarchical. Yes, we are using a class names. Okay, but multiple and hybrid we are not using. For example, you can see it in the example itself. So I think you might have already know about this, right? Regarding inheritance. So better what we can do is we'll get some example. So already have some examples here. So the main topics we can execute. Okay, so now uh, we are discussing about inheritance, right? So let me, yeah, I have a file. Yes. So if you see here in the Java inheritance, so already we discussed what it is, right? So if you come down, okay, so actually this is totally different. So what we can do is I'll explain you with a code in a simple code. So how we can execute this. First we'll see about the single inheritance or how it is working. So let me remove this. Okay. So inside this, I'm going to create a single inheritance. Okay. First, I'm just giving a data type as float, and I need to calculate the salary. So actually, the salary is for an employee is some 40,000 we can take. So now I'm just closing this class and I'm again creating one subclass. Actually, in Java, whatever you're creating first, that is called as a super class or a parent class, whatever we want to name it. So it is something higher, okay. And after this, whatever you're creating, that is called as a subclasses, okay. So I'm just giving a class name to be programmer. Okay, so this will extend simple program. Okay, so after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some bonus for the each and every employee. So I'm just adding a bonus equals to some 10,000. After doing this, public static void main string arguments of. Okay, so now I have some variable here and also here. So now I'm going to add some bonus for my employee. So how I can do it? So I need to create a object first. So which object I need to create? I need to create this subclass object. So whenever you're creating a subclass object, you need to mention the subclass object that is class name, and you need to create a things. Okay, so I'm giving as programmer a is equals to new programmer. After doing this, I'm just going to print the values. That is system column. So what is the object here? We have is a dot salary. I can also print that, and also I can print it. Print the subclass value also can be printed here as well. Let's bring it as bonus. So there is no error. Run this program. So here you can see the float values in the point, and the normal value that is an integer will be in the different thing. Okay, this is called as a single inheritance. Okay, and what is called as multi-level inheritance, how we can approach it. A multi-level is nothing but if previously what I have, so only one class and subclass is there. So now I'm going to have some three classes. One is that is grand class, subclass, and the superclass and subclass. So there are some three things will be there. So we can see how we can work with this multi-level inheritance. Just 1 minute. Okay, guys, now we'll discuss about the multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance is nothing but I'll just remove all these codes. Inside this, I'll be having some three classes. Okay, so I'm giving a class name as sim simple program C. Okay, so this is the second subclass, and again I'm creating one more class here. Like this, you can create in numbers of classes. Here I'm just closing it. So inside the simple class name, I'm creating one method. Example add of. Okay. So here I'm just giving system dot out dot println, and I'm trying to print some values here. So example add values. Okay. And the next thing is just copy this. So method I need this code. Just copy this and put it here. Here I will use another method like multiply, and here I'm using one more method called divide. Okay, so inside this I'll just copy this, changing this to a multiple and this to be divide. Okay, so yeah, we have done. So what it is showing the error, let's check. Inside. So this is our multi-level. So how we are going to handle this? How I'm going to print all these values? Okay, so if I'm trying to print all these values with a different method names, right? But I cannot, that is object names. So I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some main methods like main queue. Okay. So inside this method, I'm creating a public static void main string arguments of. Okay, let's create this. So inside this, I need to use only one class name, and I'm going to get the all the values, add and multiple and divide. So how I can do it? So for that, you need to extend. You need for the inheritance, you need to use the keyword called extends. And what you're going to extend, I'm going to extend the simple program. That is a super class of the simple programs. Next is I'm going to extend simple program C. So this is the super class of this particular program type, right? So now, which method I'm going to give to get this only. So first I'm going to use this simple program T, and I'm giving a variable method that is variable object name. And after this, just copy it and close it. So using this only you are going to get the value. So a dot add of a dot multiply of a dot divide of. So now what happened is, so for each and everything it is getting the value. So just we'll run this code. See here all the values has been printed. So this is a way we'll be creating the multiple inheritance. So what is called as hierarchical? So hierarchical is opposite to this.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is multi-level, I think so.
Yes, this is multi-level only.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. What happened? What is your doubt, Leela?
Ma'am, you said multiple, so that I asked that.
Okay, I'm sorry. So actually, this is a multiple only. So, sorry, multi-level. So multiple cannot be handled using this extends keyword. So we need to use implements. Thank you for that, ma'am. Guys, this is a multiple, sorry, multi-level. Clear? The next is how we can work with hierarchical. So hierarchical simple, just a little difference. So what you will use is you will use this particular, that is grand class here as well. So I'm going to use it as simple program. Okay. So this is called as a hierarchical if I use like this. So you can also, I will be sharing this you know this video link to you in the group, so you can also refer it if you have any doubts, or you can also reach out to me in WhatsApp, or you can call me. Okay, so here it is, this one, it is called as a hierarchical inheritance. So what happened is here we'll be getting one error, so you can see in the multiply, because this is not engaged with any of the simple program D, or also with this this has not been linked, right? So what I will be getting, so I'll be getting an error. So if you try to run this program, so what happens, so it is showing unresolved compilation problem. Okay, so we cannot be execute this, so it will show an error. Okay, so next thing is multiple and the hybrid, so which we cannot do it using a extends keyword, so we'll have a different thing, so we'll discuss later. And so this is an example for inheritance, and see here this is all about implements, so how they are using. So there is something what it is called as an abstract class, soon we will see that. Okay, so in abstract class there are two things are there, fully and partially abstract class. We'll see that. So here the next oops concept is called as a polymorphism. So polymorphism, actually if you're going to attend as a fresher, so they might ask this question, so what is polymorphism, can you write a simple example for that? So very simple example is like you are going to use a same method. Okay, for example, there are two different things are in the polymorphism. If you see, a perform a task in a multiple way. So the methods will be same, but your values, whatever the functionality you are going to do, that's going to be different. So how it is possible? So let's look into this. There are some two different things are there: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. If it is compile time, that is called as a method overloading, and this is called as a method overriding. So I will show you the nodes how we can work on this. So first we'll see about method overriding. So this is the basic example of method overriding, so how they have been used. So see here. So here I have one class name. Here I have another class name, right? That is, this is super class and this is a subclass. So I'm using an extend keyword, I'm extending this particular class name. See here, I have used some method name, so which is a similar. So here I have it as a display info. Here also the same thing, display info. But if you go and check the values, that is the output value, it is entirely different, right? So it is a I'm an animal, and here it is showing like a I'm a dog. So it is entirely different. Okay. So this is all about method overloading. Sorry, overriding. So overriding will be having a multiple you know different functionalities for the same methods. So that is called as a method overriding. So we can also run this code. So it is very simple. See here. So what we need to do, you need to use a subclass name, and you need to create an object and new keyword and the again the class name of and you need to get the d1 dot display info all. So here, if you see, I'm just getting the value for this. I'm a dog. Okay, so let's get down. So here they have mentioned so how to get the two values. If example, you can see there are in a previous example I got an error. I have only one value that is called as I am a dog. So that has been printed. So if you want to print all these two things, or what I need to do is you need to mention here that is within this subclass method name. Inside that the definition you need to mention as a super keyword and what is the method you're going to call. Okay, so this super, using this super keyword only, you will be getting a output. Okay, so let's check into that. Okay, here I'll just change the name. Everything is same, just will run this. Yeah, actually this is the main class name is room. See here you can get both the values. If I remove this particular super and everything, so go and check here. See here only one value I'll be getting. Okay, clear everyone? And what is the next thing is called as method overloading. So method overloading is nothing but you'll be having a different parameter value in method overloading. Let me check. Yeah. Method overloading, if you go and check, see here. So this is the way it will be. Okay, so you might have a different data type and a different parameter values. So that is called as a method overloading. Okay, so these methods have the same name but accepts a different arguments. Let's see example. Overloading by changing the number of parameters. Okay, so if you see in this class name, it has method overloading, and here I have two methods, like public static void, that is display method. Here also I'm using a display method, but I have a different parameters. If you see here, okay, here I have only one that is variable name as a. Here I have variable a and b. And in this void public static void when I'm going to call this method without any object creation, just calling this method, it will print output as 1 and 4. If you check this, so these are very simple. That's why I'm just executing codes. I hope you already know because you're from engineering background, right? But this is very important thing, so that is why, that is the reason I'm just explaining you clearly. So see here, so like this will be getting. So this is all about method overloading. Okay, and we'll see what is the next part. What is called as abstractions and why we are going for this. So actually this, if you see here, simple things like objects, classes and variables represent more complex underlying code and data. So it lets you avoid repeating the same work multiple times. Okay, for that purpose, we are using this abstraction. So there are two abstractions are there. One is fully abstract and the another one is called as a partially abstract. Okay, so let's see some simple examples. This is all about a Java abstraction. So create a several different types of objects which can be variable functions or a data structure. Programmers can also create different classes of objects and ways to define the object. So I think this content will not be clear for you, but I will explain you what is all about. Okay, we'll discuss about this. So this is called as abstract class. Okay, there are you can create abstract class or you can create abstract method, whatever you want. Okay, so as of now in this particular syntax, you can see they have created abstract class. So abstract, you need to use a keyword and notice a class and the class name. And here you'll be using a field and methods, right? So let's see what happens here. We'll go to the example itself. So this is a simple example they have given. So here we have mentioned as abstract class and language and the method of abstract. So here we have not used any abstract method. So we didn't mention any keyword as abstract in a method, right? And we have given, so here they can give a business logic. But if you are giving this method to be abstract, so we should not mention it as a any value within this. Okay. So let's discuss about this. Here, this is the abstract method. So here you can see the abstract keyword and void and the method name. So what happens? So here they have not given any definition for this particular method. Why? Because uh, this will be described in somewhere else. So see here. So here we have a abstract class, and here I'm creating one more subclass. So in this particular place, I'm going to provide an implementation of my abstract class, abstract method, what I have mentioned. So what we have given, public void and make sound. So this is a method, right? So here we have given, and we here will be giving what is a value it's going to be printing. We will just run this code. So in abstract method, we will not giving any business logic. So that is very important. Okay, so here you can see the two values has been printed. Okay, and what is called as fully abstracted. So fully abstracted is like you cannot even create this normal method inside the interface. So let's discuss what it is. So this is called as interface. Actually, this is called as a fully abstract class. It includes a group of abstract method without and body. So without any method body, we are going to create this. Okay. See here, this language is an interface, and what are the abstract methods we have? Get type and get version. Here we are not going to mention anything like abstract keyword before that. We are just going to give a method. So if we are mentioning any interface name, in that if you are trying to give any method, then that will be considered as a interface, and it that is called as a fully abstracted class. Okay, so what happened is you are not going to give any method. See here, the method without a body. You're not having any body here, implementation. So if you just come down, so you have you can see some example here. They have given a interface. Okay, so previously we discussed about abstract, so now we are discussing about the interface. Okay, so if you are mentioning it as an interface, then what happened, you have created a method and you are trying to implement So if you are using, see, one important thing is we have a class A and class B. Then what you need to do is you need to use the keyword as class B have extended the class A. Okay. And if you are using some interface in the class B, then what you need to use? You need to use a keyword called implements. Okay. And if you are using interface A, and again you are having an interface B, then what you need to do? You need to use the extends keyword because both is an interface, right? So I'm going to use it as a. If you have one more thing called interface C, then you can put comma and you can add it. You can add it like this. Okay, so this is simple information. Okay, so here we, as it is an interface, we have given it as an implements. Okay, the same thing what we follow. So see here, whatever the method we have given, so here we have given a value, not inside the interface. So that is a very important point. So in interview, if they are asking, you need to give this particular answer. So see here, the output is like, this will be called this particular method, right? So after calling this, what is the output it will be getting? So it will be getting a 5 into 6, that is totally 30. Okay. And encapsulation we'll see later. And the Java notations. Okay. We'll see this later. We'll move on to the next one that is called as a servlet. Guys, give me some 2 minutes, I'll be back, okay?